welcome to the Put on Raiders short here. We're gonna do a little short podcast real quick, talk about John Gruden and why this is, I don't know, this is a non-story to me. I'm not sure why people keep talking about Gruden coming back, Gruden 3.0. I think here's my point about the whole Gruden thing too, is like some people try to make it political and stuff like that. People are going after Amy Trask, calling her a liberal and stuff like that. I don't really care about all that stuff. But like, you can be mad at Gruden for what he said in those emails and be mad at how the NFL handled the situation while they were investigating another team and found and posted this stuff and basically distributed this stuff to other people. Like, you can be mad at both. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to. It's not one or the other. Raiders often go to their past to try to find glory when, like, the rest of the league is just doing stuff to go forward. I don't know why people keep doing this with Gruden, but like, I would not in any circumstances bring John Gruden back to the Raiders in any capacity.
One, John Gruden's not coming back to be an offensive coordinator, so I've seen that float around. That
Yes.
needs to just stop. John Gruden messed up and he wrote stuff in that email he shouldn't have written. The way that it came out, having to do with the Washington Commanders investigation, was unfortunate for him, but he still has to take ownership for what he wrote in those emails back in 2010, 2011, whenever that time frame was. Should the NFL have gone about it the way they did and basically start leaking stuff to force Mark Davis's hands? No, they should have done it differently. But you can't absolve John Gruden for doing what he did, even if it was 10 years prior. At this stage, it's about to be 2024. John Gruden is a couple of years older than when he came back. He's probably getting into his late 50s, if not early 60s. And there's no reason to bring him back at this point. People forget what he did to the Raiders drafts for the 5 or 6 years he was in control the second time.
Yeah.
They look past what he did when he was in Tampa, how those drafts turned out. So John Gruden's not going to come back and not want power. That's who John Gruden is. John Gruden has enough money to ride off into the sunset for the rest of his life and never have to work again. He's not going to let someone else do the grocery shopping and then ask him to cook the meals. That's just not who he is. It's not in his DNA.
And he's not going to sit back and say, yes, Coach Pierce. Well, like you said, yes, Coach Pierce, I'll run the ball more. I'll do this. I'll do that. That era of his life is done. Like, when he was the offensive coordinator with the Eagles, he did it. Once he got that injection of head coach, he's never going back to that. So, like, that idea is crazy. People posting things out about it being Mayock for these drafts and all this stuff like that. I mean, like, John had full autonomy to do whatever he wanted. He was just given the football side of the Raiders, and he failed. He failed pretty miserably. But I saw people arguing with me about Twitter about that draft class with, where I think the worst draft class in NFL history. That was more Mayock, and I'm like, dude, like, it doesn't, like, stop. Like, this is like, we're trying to. And they're saying, oh, look at the yards and points they had when they had Nelson Aguilar as their main receiver. We can make whatever story you want. Like, at the end of the day, like, he said some things that were like, he was like, here's my thing, like, I remember my grandmother. I took something that I shouldn't have one time when I was like 6 or 7. And my grandmother said to me, "Are you mad? Are you upset that you did it, or upset you got caught?" And I think, for John Gruden, like, what is he really upset about? Is he said that he got caught, or he said that that actually what he said and did was wrong? At the end of the day, that point doesn't really matter, because he said it, he did it, he got caught, and it's over. And his career, the NFL, is over. This whole, like, thing where they talk about if he drops the lawsuit, then he can coach again in the league. Then let him coach somewhere else. Like, and I'm sick of the Raiders going after these candidates, Ryan, who nobody else is going after. How about we get a candidate who somebody actually wants Ben Johnson. Let's go after Ben Johnson. Somebody's gonna want the assistant general manager of the Lions. Let's go after him. Like, I'm so sick of chasing, like, these lone wolves that nobody wants.
You mean Josh McDaniels?
Yeah, 6-year contract.
I mean, at the end of the day, the Raiders are looking. They're going to be in a position where the Chargers are going to have a new coach.
Yep.
What if that's Jim Harbaugh? You have Sean Payton, who's turned things around in Denver, and you have Andy Reid. Those are the three coaches you're going up against, not to mention the three quarterbacks those teams have. Whatever you think about Russell Wilson, he's better than what the Raiders are running out of quarterback right now.
Yeah.
So you're trying to compete with the upper echelon of coaches in this league. At
Yes.
least when you have Andy Reid, and you could argue, whatever you think about Sean Payton, he's easily in the top half, if not the top 10
Uh-huh.
of coaches for the turnaround that he's had this year in Denver. Don't go backwards. It's about, and Al Davis always said the greatness of the Raiders is in the future. It's in the future. Let's stop talking about what happened in 1982 or 1995 or 2001. It's 2024, and the Raiders need to get up and play football the way it's played in 2024 and build that way. And the other side of the coin is I don't want to hand a first round or second round quarterback to John Gruden. What quarterbacks has John Gruden groomed young quarterbacks in this league? He's always won with veterans, whether it's Jeff Garcia, whether it's Rich Gannon, whether it's Brad Johnson. Like, I don't remember John Gruden taking a first round rookie and turning him into like a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the league. He's never done it.
Yeah, no question about that. They would trade for a Kyler Murray or a Justin Fields almost
Not that
immediately.
contract.
They're trying to get something better in quarterback. Who knows? Who knows? Drew Gruden came back. So, all right, Ray Nation. Listen, no Gruden, please.